Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here. Today I have a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout for you. I'm working with the Floral Butterfly cut file and the Blooming Wild collection, both by Paige Evans. And so what I've done is cut out the photos to the shape of the right butterfly wing, and then cut out the butterfly itself using plain white cardstock. I've pulled this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous floral transparency and also cut half of the butterfly from pink cardstock, and then I'm using blue cardstock to back the transparency with. And I was super excited to use this transparency on this page and use it in a 12 by 12 layout. That's something that, even though I love transparencies, I don't do that very often. So that's fun to have an opportunity to do that. I'm also using the die cuts and the puffy stickers, the puffy titles here. And I'm not sure yet, but possibly these alphabets as well from the Blooming Wild collection. And it's worth noting that I received this product when I was on the Click Hits creative team. Of course, I'm so sorry to say that they are no longer in business, but I am deeply appreciative for the opportunity to serve on that team and for receiving this beautiful product. And so I went ahead and adhered the photos to the butterfly wing as the first step here in creating the layout. And then I'm going to adhere the butterfly itself to the transparency. But of course, first I need to ensure that it will stick. I'm using the dry adhesive runner for the solid side of the butterfly, and then used my Tombow mono adhesive for the other side. And I'm just sort of dabbing the excess glue off and making sure that that is held on securely onto the transparency. This gives me the opportunity to adhere the transparency to the blue cardstock and hide the adhesive. But first, what I wanted to do was create a bit of contrast underneath the transparency where the flowers and leaves are cut out from the butterfly. And so that's what I'm using the pink cardstock for. And so I cut that just doing an offset of the cut file itself in silhouette. And then I deleted the points so that it just cut half. So then I'm adhering that again using the Tombow adhesive, trying to hide where that adhesive goes, and then adding the dry tape runner to the whole thing to adhere it to the blue cardstock. And then I changed my mind and decided that I wanted to use foam tape to adhere the transparency to the cardstock. And so that's what you're going to see me doing here, is just adding the foam tape to the back. Again, this is a great way to hide your adhesive so that your elements stick beautifully to the transparency, and it also will be able to attach securely to the cardstock without seeing the adhesive. And I get that question a lot whenever I work with transparent elements. How do you use adhesive with that? And that's my number one tip, is to hide the adhesive with your embellishments, and in this case, the cut file. So the layout itself is created, and at this point, going forward, I just get to add the beautiful embellishments. So I'm going ahead and pulling some of the elements here from the die cuts that I think I will be using. And what I wanted to do was create a cluster here underneath the main photo here on the right hand side, and then 2 supporting clusters on the left hand side. And this turned out to be a great strategy. It establishes the visual triangle and also helps your eye to move around the butterfly cut file as a central focal point of the layout, and then the transparency and the blue background are what I consider supporting actors, structural actors as well. They create the structure of the layout and they support everything. They support the colors, the floral icons, repeating those across the page. And so I used one of the tags from the die cuts as my journaling spot. I did want to just tell you a little bit about the photos here. These photos were taken in January of 2012. I'm using these photos to document Asher's 7th birthday, or her turning 7. These photos were a family photo shoot taken by a friend, Kelly Gowdy, and I pulled one of the photos that features her as her own person, and then also this great shot of Alan swinging her around, the look on her face. You'll just have to look at the detailed photos to see the expression on her face of absolute delight, and just an awesome photo shoot, an awesome opportunity to scrapbook these photos and get these photos into her album. I try to do this with as many of the kids' layouts as I can, to select events where I have photos of them as their own person, and then also a supporting photo of them interacting in some way with their friends, with us, with the pets, or whatever it is that they're doing. And that seems to work pretty well for me as a photo formula for selecting photos. And then this half of the butterfly also is a great home base for these 2 photos. So building this cluster around the photos, including the journaling here, I added a little butterfly, a little bird, some of the flowers and some of the puffy flowers, and also the little word art that says, "Hello there, cutie." For the second cluster over here on the lower left hand, I'm going to use this little birdhouse as the center of the embellishment cluster. Add a little bird to that as well. Did you notice how there was a little quilted die cut in the pack? And I cut that to use the little patterned paper as the background for the little hole where the birds can poke in and get their food from. And the reason I did that was because the pattern on those little quilted die cuts is scaled down really tiny to fit within that little hole. And I'm also doing that for the second birdhouse that I'm going to use at the top of this side of the layout. And you can see how, again, those adorable little patterns fit perfectly within the birdhouse doorways, I guess is what they're called. So I'm also adding a bird to that birdhouse and another butterfly. And also I tucked a little rainbow behind the birdhouse as well, just incorporating some of these cute and happy, bright floral icons, nature icons, the birds and butterflies, and representing brighter days and representing the happiness that I see here in this layout, and definitely the bond that these two humans share. And that's really what makes me excited about creating these layouts for the children, is allowing them to see what those events and those moments were like for them as children, and how those bonds developed early and have remained true throughout all these years. That's truly awesome. So I needed a little spot for my date here, and I grabbed a little roller date stamp. This one is from Recollections from Michael's. And then I created my own little banner here. One of the banners uses another one of the smaller pattern papers, and then I layered on top of that a plain white banner and stamped the date to that. And then I added the little celebrate word art as an emotion and as a active verb, bringing that into the layout, that we are celebrating here. We are celebrating our family and celebrating Asher with this layout. For my title word, I decided just to use the purple happy puffy sticker. Purple puffy sticker. Say that 3 times. And I'm just layering that lightly over the photo, but not obstructing the view of the photo. And then adding another little word strip that I cut from one of the die cuts, the Lovely Day word strip, and added that to the top cluster here. And then, of course, adding more puffy stickers, the flowers, the hearts. Love adding those tiny little details here that add another texture and form of dimension to the layout. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you've gained some inspiration for using the Blooming Wild collection from Paige Evans, some inspiration for your kids' layouts. I will see you back here again very soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.